Hello, chat. If that is your real name. Alright. Might be a shorter one tonight, given how long this... Given I'm traveling Thursday and whatever. We'll figure it out. That's my vote. We'll figure it out. Alright. I mean, we got mostly just, like, one thing left to do, and that's... run down any remaining pursuits we've got. We can hand this off, and then hand over the watch. That's about it. Now, I do want to acknowledge before we formally... Before we formally get started, if the game just ends, I'm sorry. We should have just done this last night. I'm so sorry. But I'm guessing there's going to be like a final phase of the game at least. Whether that's a boss fight or like a world state change or something. I can imagine something happens next. I just don't know what that thing is. So we gotta take a quick... Why'd I come here? I have the book. You've had it this whole time, have you not? Doesn't matter. Make the most of this window of lucidity. Now is the time to act. Do you still remember where it happened? In that gloomy darkness behind the bay. When you're ready, I'll point the way. Okay. That's exciting. The concept that, like, we've been giving spells to ourselves is insane. I'm guessing we get one more region, though. What's up, Faye? If Disco Elysium was half as long, yes. I would easily commit to it. It's not, so we will see. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Part of the same set? Okay. One more to find. Alright. Fair enough. Like, I extremely want to play it. I'm just very loath to start something long. And it is certainly on the long side. Not exceptionally long, from my understanding, but I'm hesitant to start anything even in the, like, 30 to 50 range right now. Until I can, like, feel good about the pacing. Liza P? Sure to be not. And we're still making slow progress. I don't mind Liza P, though. But we already have that, so we gotta figure out if we want to finish that or if we're gonna jettison it before we start something else longer term. Oh, I want to put the eyeball flag on. I almost forgot. The drift maneuvers do actually work. I love it. No painter. Lower flag. Yes. Eyeball flag. I also want to finish Liza P. Here's the issue, though. Going forward, we're going to have to be a little bit more decisive about, like, cutting playthroughs off, just because, like I said, like, it just at times more at a premium. Which makes it a little bit challenging to do things like keep up with a long playthrough. If we're like, you know, 10 hours into a 60-hour game and the interest check is failing, I need to make some more upfront decisions, I think, about these things. You climb the broken steps to the old mansion, the waves swelling and crashing against the basalt columns that surround you. You pause over crossing the threshold to the relic. Okay. I don't really want to give the collector the relic. I believe we are bringing doom to this world. Let's be a good lad. Let's move on. Let us not be trapped in the scars of the past, in the agony of loss, and let's instead attempt to heal. Entering the final phase of the game, your progress will not be saved from this point onwards. You must continue. Yes. One more time. Your progress will not be saved from this point onwards. Are you sure? I love this, by the way. Every game should do this. When you have a point of no return, you need to very aggressively push it, I think. That's my T. Second, I need to briefly end to a war wound, aka I have a gnarly paper cut I gotta. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for the patience. Alright, T acquired. Liquid bandage changed. Let's get it. Let's wait until night is thickest, until the ocean's as it was all those years ago. It's time. I'll point the way. Follow my light. Go and do what's right for her. Throw it back. I think we extremely should throw it back because I believe our dear protagonist, was it Michael? Was that his name? Like, judging by, yeah, Michael. Like, I think at one time, Michael did actually care. I don't think the runtime was shorter for me. I could be wrong, though. I also don't, yeah, it's funny, like, the feel of it is different because, fundamentally, the game has more going on. Like, the areas in Alan Wake 2 are dramatically denser. That's super cool, by the way, I love that. But yeah, I think Michael did genuinely, and still does, care for his beloved. And, you know, was teetering on the brink of insanity before she died, and then her death plunged him into darkness. You gotta throw the damn thing back. This is the place. Throw it back. Me and the club. The book struggles in your grasp, its weight somehow shifting from side to side. Silver ribbons flail pathetically against your fingers. Throw it back. You hold it high above your head. A low groan rumbles from the book, echoed by another from the depths. Throw it back. You throw it into the foaming water. Sated, throw it back. Swear to God, if the game just ends, I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh shit! Big man. Oh! Okay. Wow. Quick little credits takes then, I guess. God, I should have known better. We can do the takes and we can do the other ending though, at least. Holy shit. Here's what I think. Very solid game. Very interesting game. Should have been either shorter or longer. If that makes any sense. What do I mean by this? Maybe it was my fault for playing the game wrong, but I feel like I gamed the economy too hard, and the last island was just kind of nothing because we had a fully upgraded ship, and all of the interest I had in this game was about the progression tree, and then the storyline. I think the island stories were a little lackluster, and I think that the main story was quite strong, piecing it together. But that, like, once you, like, because the special rewards from, like, the fish shrines and stuff like that are not presented to you directly, it's hard to care about them, especially once you're in striking distance at the end of the game. So, like, cut an island, cut the last island, not literally, but cut an island's worth of content. Same exact tech tree, the game's more interesting because we have decisions to make before the end of the game, or we stop to grind if we want everything, right? That I like better. Like, we finished the tech tree, like, as we got to Island 4, right? Which means I either grinded too hard going into it, which is possible, but I didn't cut all the fish. I don't know what it was that I did that was wrong, basically. The pacing felt wrong in some ways to me. And I'm not, like, really feeling compelled to, like, do more other than, like, I guess, fill out the Pokédex. But I'm not feeling that compelled to do the Pokédex because it's just, there's no point. If we made, like, I would have loved if there was, I mean, we have the one little quest line where we have to give her 4 fish, but, like, give me, like, a Professor Oak style thing. Have the oceanographer give us a reward per 10% completion rate and have it be tied to a narrative quest. Let us see the dog each time, right? Like, have something like that kick in. I'm all in to finish the fish, but right now I don't care. Maybe there was something that I missed. It's entirely possible I forgot or missed that quest line. I don't think I did, though. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Maybe finishing out the cultist does something. I don't know. I'm left with a game that is visually gorgeous, presentationally gorgeous, very fun to play, an overall joy, and one that just kind of, I think, falls in towards the end. It stumbles. It's like this incredibly driving experience where I'm super engaged and engrossed in both the narrative and the mechanics, and most importantly, the narrative and the mechanics colliding. But as we get more powerful, the mechanics mean less because we're overpowering the eldritch horrors. We're gaining mastery over the mechanics. And then, like, I'm not, like, threatened by the nighttime anymore, which was the coolest part of the game. And now it's like, well, now I'm just farming. And that's fine. I don't mind the farming. But when the farming gets us to the end point of our farming, then I'm like, well, now what am I going to do? And the second you're off that treadmill, the second you lose sight of your goals, it doesn't really matter to you anymore. So I think the issues I have with the game are mechanical. I think there are cute stories. I do think that they're not amazing. I wish the storylines were a little more dense, maybe. Just that they had, like, literally more dialogue. I would have preferred, I think, in some cases. That said, when I was, like, really feeling the gameplay flow, I didn't want more dialogue. So, like, it's a complicated balance there. I wish there was more heft to the narratives on each island, basically, because they feel fairly perfunctory. Like, they're there, they function. You reunite the 2 brothers, you get the dog for the scientist, you help the old guy, and then you help the fanatic, and the game's over. And it's like, that's not a lot of narrative. Whereas the main narrative was really engrossing. We have, like, this piece together thing with the messages in a bottle. You have the collector, you have the lighthouse keeper, you have all these back and forths and these, like, you know, little bits and shreds coming at you. Yeah, I agree. Like when it became clear that we didn't, like, as soon as I realized we had access to every fishing type in the game, I was like, oh, but now there's no, like, oh, what's that going to be like? It's like, well, it's just kind of more of the same, isn't it? Like, when there was no more sort of weird fishing mechanics to uncover. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. But anyway. It's good. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm a little askew about this game. I like it a lot still. I think there's a lot to like about it, and I think that there's just so much I enjoyed about it. I do think it's almost like it's at odds with itself, I guess, because I think like to get the most atmospherically out of this game, you should be just running it down. But the game gives you like 2 of the 4 main systems for collecting fish are passive, and thus like farming related. The game's like heavily encouraging you to like put out crab pots. And to me, that makes me enter farming mode. So I think, and then the trawling, right? Like we made a lot of passive income, and like, and in fairness, the economy in the game was perfectly balanced until it wasn't, right? Until we ran out of stuff to buy. Like I was never ahead on cash really until this last portion, but these last couple streams have been very like, I was on the do. We got ahead, and then we stayed ahead. Rushing the reinforced crab pots was basically correct. Rushing the trawling was basically correct, and we, you know, power gamed our way to victory there. And so it didn't feel like after a certain point I even cared about fishing because there was not a lot of direct reward. Like if collecting a fish to give you items or something like that, or lore more importantly, like I loved seeing the aberrant fish, but it was kind of hard to find them. Like I wanted to find more last night, but I was too annoyed. And then the fact that you can get them passively through trawling or crab pots also made them feel a little bit more kind of, you know, not that worthwhile digging for aberrant fish. The bonuses from like this, like the cursed items didn't feel powerful enough either, I think. Like if they had been like 5-10% each, sick, but they're like 2% each. So like I don't feel like I got like a big like oomph to our kit from those. So I just rather just, you know, spam other stuff. Like as soon as also we'd be like stopped getting abilities, it was like, oh, we got the camera. I was like, damn, I thought I was getting another ability. I think that's that's like my main complaints is like the mechanical. It feels like we had like, you know, the end of the sidewalk type shit. Like we had this beautiful path and then it just fell off and there was nothing left. I think we needed an end game gauntlet, and maybe that's the DLC's for, right? But I didn't buy the DLC. It's another, like, again, the cost of the game basically. For what I paid for it. So I'm like, I don't really want to pay again. And so, of course, these thoughts are just with the base game. If the Iron Rig and the other thing make that, are that mechanical endpoint that I'm looking for, awesome. I don't know that they're going to be, though. So it's a little bit like, yeah, I agree with you, Faye, for sure. Like, that the ending being as bittersweet as it was really nice. I think we do need to get some clarity on the situation. But I think that like it didn't leave us with enough like uncertainty and enough like impact. Like I get, you know, the collector is a fragment of ourselves, whether that's real or whether it's purely, you know, real in terms of like the occult and mystic, like a magical occult happening or a sort of psychological phenomenon. That's cool. Love that. Hello, Planet Eater. How are you? Good to see you again. Like, love that. That said, we like the ending here. We get no input from the player, which is good as far as creating a sense of mystique about it, but bad as far as giving me like investment in anything. You know, our main character, who I'm assuming his name Michael, has feelings about these things, but we don't get to hear them at all, except in that one sequence to collector mirror. I think we needed another oomph moment there at the end. Oh, congrats, Planet Eater. I mean, another oomph moment at the end there, that would have helped. The ending fell flat to me, basically. I was really expecting a final area. Like, you know, like the fog comes out, we gotta dodge a bunch of scary big fish, recur all the scary fish from the prior, like, took a little boss rush, right? You gotta traverse like a maze and dredge up a couple things on your way to finish. Like, that would have been killer. You know what I mean? Like, do like some sort of like, you know, is this real or not kind of dream world where all the fish, all the big fish you couldn't finish killing throughout the game show up and you got to dodge all of them while dredging and doing all kinds of stuff. That would have been sick. Have the lighthouse be involved. I'm imagining this right now, and I'm loving that ending of the game, and I think, yeah, I don't know. It fell super flat. That sucks. It's like a great game still. I really enjoyed it. But man, that's kind of nothing. Let's go back and see what happens if we give the watch over to the collector. It'd be really funny if what I described happens. I doubt it, though. Maybe that was the boring ending. Maybe we're supposed to go for the interesting ending. He approaches, drawing closer with an incessant ticking. You have the pocket watch. Its once frozen hands are now inexplicably twitching in a rhythmic struggle, trying but failing to move forwards. You place it in front of the collector. We're going to have to talk some more. We're going to have to yap again if this is the case. Though it has been some decades since I last laid eyes upon this, the sound of its mechanisms has grown no less unpleasant, and with that, our collection is complete. I must admit, I am surprised I didn't think you had the determination for such a job. Now, with these 5 relics in our possession, only one thing remains. We will see her again soon. It will all be worth it. You know this. Know what? My parents soon enough. We must make one final voyage. This time I will be with you. Okay. The relics come with us. We should wait for the fog to thicken. With luck, the seas will remain unaware of our intentions. Alright, let's see what happens. The dead of night. Our destination, the open expanse to the west of Greater Maris, marked on the map. We must not tarry in the open waters on such a significant cargo. Make haste! His shape disappears from the mirror. A chill rises in your body. You turn to leave. The collector is with you. So it's interesting. It is like a presence. He said make haste. Whoa, Ella. No lighthouse this time. This is the place. This is where she was taken from us and where we can at last bring her back. Only here, and only because of what we achieved. Open the book. Its pages are frosted with ice, and a chill mist rises around your fingers. You begin to read aloud. To release a lost one frozen in time, you throw the pocket watch overboard. And tethered by chains in the deep, you throw the necklace overboard. Bind into this world once more, you throw the ring overboard. Open the door to the starry heavens. You slot the key into the lock of the music box, and lay the weary world to rest. So the music box overboard is key left unturned. Okay. The achievement was find a use for the relics. Okay, similarly. What the fuck? Oh my. It worked? Question mark? Oh my god. Is that fucking Cthulhu? Okay, good. No, it's not. I don't think it is, at least. Okay. That's a better ending, I think. Like, it feels tonally better. Oh, here we go. Okay. Nice. We doomed the world for our own ambition. I like that. Now I want to see the world being destroyed. We should have watched this one first, I guess. Damn. But yeah, I don't know. That's where my head's at on this, honestly. Like, it kind of is what it is, but yeah. It's one of those, I'm feeling rough right now, because this is one of those experiences, I don't know if y'all have ever had this before, but like, for me, this is one of those, like, I can't believe that it lost a full star in the last, like, 5 minutes, but like, yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now. Really does not have a satisfying ending, I don't think. I don't think it's, like, out of step with the rest of the game. So the rest of the game does have fairly punchy, concise writing as well. But like, you really got to do something at the end here. I think you need an end gameplay phase. I don't think the Devil's Strand or whatever it's called was enough. Devil's Spine. I don't think that was enough. I think we needed something specific at the end here. We needed a gameplay segment. Can you imagine how hard it would have gone if we had like a special dredge thing where you had to dredge the corpse out of the water? That would have gone nuts. And it just ends though. That's so frustrating. Like same thing, but you get like walls of water coming up, and then you have to like dodge through the walls of water and like traverse the maze as the collector is saying things to you, where you're hearing like occult whispering and there's fish coming to attack you. You gotta get through it, and then you sit in the end and you dredge her up, and it gets more intense and it gets harder to pull up as it goes, and then you pull her out, and then the world ends. That would have gone insane. I know I'm inventing like a lot of work for the developers. They don't have to do all that. But let us like see this, right? You know what I mean? Like let us walk around in this world. I was expecting a world state flip, right? But like the end game is just the end game. You just go to the spot and then the game's over. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's like bonus stuff that I completely missed. Maybe there's a true ending or something. I don't know. That's not what I ran into in my playthrough. I'm also surprised we're not seeing more of the world here. If this was like a montage of the rest of the world being destroyed, that would have gone hard too, but it didn't. All around him, it fell very flat. I think this puts me at like a 7, I think, at the end of things. I was hoping for an 8. I don't think it's a 6. I think it's better than that. I think this is more interesting of a game than that. I think it was too good for too long to be a 6. But I do think this like makes the like light 7 now. It's like, yeah, it's probably a 3 stars out of 5. If I had to like decide, if I'm not doing half stars, right? Numerical evaluations, of course, are silly and not worthwhile. But if I had to, that's where my head's at. That's unfortunate. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just I was like all over this for the first couple sessions. Especially, I was like all over this, and it ended fine. But I'm really glad we had to like finish a game. Well, though we got to play this game in 6 and some brisk sessions. If I can say words ever again. 6 and some odd brisk sessions. So that's a lot of S's in a row, I guess. It's a tongue twister, but yeah, all right. If there's a bonus at the end, then so be it. And I don't think, I can check to see if the DLC says anything about, like, I don't, maybe there's plot, I don't know. It's possible there's plot, a brand new side story, anytime in the playthrough. This all sounds great, don't get me wrong, but like I think I need to have bought these while I was like at like the second island if I was gonna do it. Now I'm like, whatever. So I don't know. Solid experience overall for sure. Not exactly feeling that ending, I guess. Is the TLDR for me. So yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, Dredge is really good. I still like I kind of want to play the DLC, but like I'm kind of like I think it's time for me to move on with my life. So solid experience, good game. Would recommend playing for sure. Maybe don't get involved in the crab pot trade as hard as I did. Do like a couple crab bots. I don't know. Like it felt like it was needed until it suddenly wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It felt like we were we needed the money until we suddenly were like, oh, we like blew up the economy. So anyway, that's what I got for Dredge for this evening. But it was a good time to play though. I enjoyed this. I'm glad we played it. Just disappointed in the ending, but the experience was fantastic though. So recommended highly. Just be advised, the ending's kind of like what it is. Just play it. If you get it on a sale or just enjoying it for what it is, hell yeah. If you get the DLC on a sale, I'd play. If the DLC were on a sale, I just don't want to pay like $20. It ends up being what, like close to $20, right? 11 and 6, yeah. And I'm like, that's not like an insane amount of money, but like it's enough money that I'm like, I don't really feel like it. Also, yeah, that's the other problem. If I wouldn't mind spending the money if I felt like it, but like once I got to the end game, this happened. I was talking to some people about this recently. Like, once you get to an end game and things, sometimes you're just done. And I stopped caring about side quests. I stopped caring about grinding content, and that's how I felt with this. I'm like, I'm ready to be done. This was a good game. I really enjoyed it. Ended a little stronger, and I'm very, very, very happy ending those. As it stands, yeah, all right, fair enough. So, cool, good stuff. Okay, for my own sanity, I think we're just gonna pivot to do a little bit of the Stargirl Fate event that I never did, because I don't know if I'm gonna get to do it otherwise. And I want to do it, so we're gonna do that, and so I'll cut and re-put up the YouTube stream for another hour, and we'll do that. So, folks of YouTube, if you want to come join us, come over to Twitch or refresh YouTube in a short, and see you there. And otherwise, I will catch you all in the next one. I'll be back on maybe next Monday. I'll be off for our usual Thursday and Sunday streams this week, so I might be back Monday night for a bit. I think that's possible. More likely, I'll be back Tuesday the 12th for sure. I'm likely to be back Monday the 11th. So thanks for being here. Hopefully I'll see you all next time. Until then, thanks for joining me on this wonderful, wonderful voyage. I'll catch you soon. Until then.